No! No!
What's going on, guys? It's Sensei Adam, and welcome back to another Brawl Stars video. Today, we're going to be revisiting a strategy that we did when our channel first began, and that was the most overpowered strategy in Brawl Stars, which was a GG Corral strategy. And if you guys remember, this map has changed so much. In my last tutorial, I think it was like 4 changes ago, they increased the health, they changed the map, and I think they added a lake, then they moved the safe back, then they moved the safe back again. It's just been a huge mess. So, how has this strategy changed? Because sometimes I get comments in that video that's like, yo, this map's changed so much, I don't even think this strategy even applies anymore. Well, of course, it's changed a lot, but I can honestly say, this map is one of the best maps to possibly push with all of these brawlers that you're seeing right now. Dynamike, Colt, and Crow. So we're going to go ahead and revisit the strategy that made this map so good to push with. But if you do enjoy the video and find it helpful, make sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down on the video, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing Brawl Stars content. But let's just get started on the strategy guide. But first, let's go ahead and discuss GG Corral and Heist in general, because I see there's a general stigma in the community that's like, bro, Heist sucks, especially GG Corral. Why don't they just remove that map in general? And a lot of people don't like it, but I'm here to say that this is one of the best maps you can possibly play. Why? Well, just because of that general stigma. You're gonna find that not a lot of top players play this map. So it's an amazing place to go ahead and push your brawlers above like 300, between the 350 and 500 range. Especially since this map, when it does come out, it comes out with a top player favorite, which is Crystal Cavern and also Showdown. So that's what you're going to see them playing the most instead of this map. And then you're going to see a lot of noobs and people who don't know how to play Heist playing this map. So I would highly recommend you trying out this map. I believe it's also going to come out tonight, so you guys can go ahead and try out this strategy. So let's just go ahead and discuss how you start off on offense, because positioning, especially on offense, is really important. So what you want to do is when you play your Dynamike, he always wants to go to the left, and your Colt and your Crow always want to go ahead and go to the right. That's because on the left there's always a bunch of walls that you have to throw over, and your Dynamike just applies pressure, especially when you see the defense make a huge mistake, which is going close to that lake. They don't want to do that. What they usually want to do is just stay in the bush and try and hide as much as possible. So when you see them doing that, you want to try and go for those people and try and load up your super as much as possible with Dynamike. That way, once you get your super loaded, you want to use it on the left wall, no exceptions. Use it to break the wall. You don't want to try and get damage with it. It's really important, especially if you don't have a max Dynamike. But even if you do have it, you want to break that wall. That's just to go ahead and open up a lane for your team in the future. You don't want to think of now and doing a little bit of damage when in the future your teammates can use that lane and split push in order to try and get to that safe. Just remember, don't waste your super on trying to get a kill. Second thing you guys want to think about, and this goes out to the max Dynamikes out there, is when to use your jump over the wall. And you want to think about this. If you jump over the left wall, a tank is usually just going to show up and kill you right then and there. So when you use the jump, as you guys are going to see, I usually use the jump right here on the middle wall. That way I can go ahead and still have cover and run away if I have to. But what I try and do usually is try and do a double jump. So I try and get inside of their base so I can use at least 2 Dynamike sticks to hit that safe. You don't want to just stay out in an area where their Barley or their Dynamike has an area to just shoot you. So you want to try and get as close as possible and do as much damage as possible. So now let's just go ahead and discuss the other 2 people on this team, Colt and Crow. What do you want to do with them? Like I said before, they both go to the right, and they try and apply pressure to them so they don't try and hide in the bushes. And Dynamike helps with that because he just throws it in the bush so they can't hide in the middle. And he tries to draw them out so they go near the Colt and the Crow. Colt's job, on the other hand, is to try and load up that super as much as possible. It's really hard for Colt and Crow to do damage if those walls are not broken. So when Colt has his super, what you want to do is break the middle walls. And what I mean by that is not just like the middle wall, like the safe wall. You want to break those 2 middle walls plus the safe wall all in one super. That way the crow has a wide open range in order to do poison damage to them. Not only that, but especially when you have the walls down, Colt can just stay back from like any different direction and shoot the safe with his regular attacks. So he doesn't have to rely on his super to do all the damage. And that really helps out, especially later in the game when you have all the walls broken. It's just a lot easier to do that rather than have to go around, always load up your super, and always go to the left side in order to try and get damage. You always want to break walls in order to give yourself options in the future. Don't just think about how much damage you're going to do right now on this push. Think about how much damage you're doing to the walls, so later on in the match, like say 30 seconds left, you can just go wide open in a wide open lane and do a ton of damage really fast. And last but not least, Crow. His job on offense is pretty simple. You just have to try and load up that super, and once you have it, you want to use your super on the safe to try and get as many blades on it as possible. But you don't want to do it by yourself, like push by yourself. You want to do it when you see there's at least one teammate close to you, so he can just go behind and do a lot of damage. So basically you're going to serve as a distraction so your team can go behind you and push right behind you. And that basically applies to any map that you play Crow in Heist. A lot of people, I don't know why, on my tier list said, oh, Crow isn't good on offense. No, he is, because he can just push them back with his poison and then just get them to jump on the safe, and your team can go ahead and go right behind them. So let's go ahead and move on to defense. Remember guys, when defense on this map was so hard to win, I'm pretty sure everybody posted on Reddit, oh look, I just got a win on defense on GG Corral, what a miracle. And yeah, when I first put my strategy on this map, it was all about defense because that's what everybody was having a tough time on. I think people won like 90% of offense and 10% of defense, some crazy number like that. But with my old strategy, I gave you some insane tips on how you could always win defense like about 70% of the time, which involved using Colt to break all of these walls. Well, this time you're not going to do that here, because now if you do stay up here for a long time, these walls back here are going to give you a really tough time. And that's going to go ahead and bring in my first point. You don't want to go ahead and stay up like in the old strategy as much. You do want to stay up a little bit, but when you see an opportunity that they're going to overrun you, you want to move back to your base. That's because these walls that they added here can sometimes hinder your progress here, because you can get stuck and you're not going to be able to move back to your base. So remember, just stay up if you got like a triple kill, and now you can move up and keep them at their base for a little bit longer. But when you see an opportunity that are going to overrun you, you want to move back to your base as fast as you can. Second thing, and this was another really important point that I did on my previous video on this map, and that is your super usage. Now I have to say a lot of things have changed from when I did my last tutorial. Of course, this whole map has changed. What are you guys going to expect? But this is what you guys want to do with everybody's super. First is Colt. You no longer want to try and break the walls in their base. Now you just want to leave them there because there's no point. You guys don't want to stay up there as long as possible. So what do you want to do when you use Colt's super? One of the things I found out is you want to try and use your super when they're in that really long bush. And your goal when doing that is to try and break those bushes. That way they don't have too much grass in order to try and push up to your base. So they're going to go wide open, and that just opens up a lot of options for your Crow. So now Crow knows where they're at, and he can just poison them. So they're going to have to try and rush to your base with a lot lower HP. And that's why Crow is really good on these heist combos. If he just poisons them once, they can't try and juke your attacks. They have to try and rush down with poison while their health diminishes. So that's what you want to do. Use Colt and also dynamike super. But what I usually do, I use that on the left or on the right hand side. So now it's just a wide open circle, and it just leaves like I think a one line straight of bushes. It just really helps out with your team's visibility so they can't sneak up on you. But go ahead and remember, try and not use your own supers to break your own defensive walls. That's just giving the enemy a favor, and you're gonna give yourself a disadvantage, because then in the future they're gonna be able to split push a lot easier. Rather than having them use their supers to have to break the wall, you're just gonna do them a favor and do it yourselves while wasting your own super trying to get a kill. So I wouldn't do that. It's just gonna harm yourself in the long term. But now let's go ahead and talk about some matchups. who are you going to face when you're playing this map? Well, the beauty of it, like I said earlier on in the video, is you're usually not going to see a lot of top players over here. They're going to be off playing Crystal Cavern or Showdown. So sometimes you're going to see some awkward matchups. Like I've played Mortises, Bows, and a lot of other brawlers that you're never going to want to play in Heist. So generally it's going to be kind of easy. But when you do get a good matchup like a Crow, a Colt, or generally anybody I put at the top of my Heist tier list, what you're going to want to do is just do what I said here on earlier in the tutorial. But an important thing that I am going to mention is when you do go against a tank, especially on defense, you have to try and stay far away from them. Just don't let them get their super, because they're usually not a threat unless they have that super loaded up. And then they're going to just use it to go near the safe. So just stay long range, and it should be easy because this combo here, it's all about the long range and you can just stay far away from them. Secondly, when they have a tank on defense, you want to watch out. You don't want to just recklessly go ahead and walk into their base, because their tank is probably just going to stay hiding in the bush and just absolutely destroy you. So don't do that. Alright, a second matchup is Barley. Especially on defense, don't let him get near the safe with this super. If he does, he's going to do about 50% damage to the safe. So tell your teammates to prioritize killing a Barley when he has a super approaching the safe. Alright guys, but I hope everybody enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. And if you did, make sure to hit that like and subscribe to the channel for more Brawl Stars content. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.